Hi everyone, I'm Sean. So one interesting product of technology that I have is a clothes steamer. And you might wonder what came before this. For centuries, people have been using irons to smooth out wrinkles in fabric. Originally, irons were heated over open flames or on stoves, and they were made of heavy metals like cast iron. Over time, irons became more portable and efficient, eventually incorporating steam technology to help remove wrinkles more effectively. The clothes steamer, as we know it today, is a more recent innovation or more recent invention that offers several advantages over traditional irons, such as being gentler on fabrics and often allowing for easier steaming of hanging garments. The clothes steamer is very interesting to me because honestly, I hate ironing clothes the traditional way. But because of the clothes steamer, I'm able to get my wrinkled clothes all smooth and presentable without the hassle of using an iron. It's much easier to use and it saves me time while saving or while giving great results. So are there any questions?
Since when did you acquire your steamer?
So I acquired my steamer like 2 years ago, but I've only used it like a month ago.
And how often do you use the steamer?
I use it like at least every day since I have to steam my uniform for school. Okay, let's move on to the next category. So an interesting product of technology for the community are robots. I guess it's interesting for me because I've seen a lot of robots being of help in today's community. Just like how vacuum robots are used at home to clean your house by just pressing on buttons, or how robots are the ones that are used to serve food to people or provide service to them. The traditional way before these robots came would be people just sweeping the floor by themselves by using a broom and dustpan, and people serving food and giving service to other people. But now we have robots like in Jollibee, where they have Jolly bots to serve food for you instead of waiters or waitresses. Or like a masseuse, now we have massage chairs like Ogawa. Having robots as an assistant to humans is becoming increasingly common and beneficial. They can perform repetitive tasks and handle dangerous jobs. This partnership between humans and robots is reshaping how we approach work and everyday life, making things more efficient and convenient. Questions?
How has the use of robots been helpful to the community?
So I think robots have been helpful in the community because it saves people a lot of time. Like what I mentioned earlier, before people would be the one to sweep floors using dustpan and broom. But now we have robots to do that for us.
And how and what do you think about the use of robots?
So what I think about the use of robots is it's like beneficial for us, for the community. Moving on to the next category, which is national. An interesting product of technology for the country is the RFID the RFID. I find it very interesting as technology is rapidly growing in today's age, and RFID has been very useful for the country, like in toll gates or like in Uniqlo, where they use RFID to scan the items you shop. Also, did you know that credit cards use RFIDs? They do, actually, apparently. Barcodes invented in the 1940s were the primary method for scanning and tracking items for many decades. They consisted of a series of black and white lines that were read by a laser scanner. While they were efficient for their time, they had limitations such as requiring direct line of sight and being susceptible to damage. RFID technology, which emerged in the late 20th century, offered several advantages over barcodes, including the ability to read multiple items simultaneously, work at greater distances, and be embedded in various objects. This made it more versatile and efficient solution for tracking and identification tasks. Questions again.
What does RFID stand for?
RFID stands for Radio Frequency Identification.
Do you think that it is a useful technology for the country?
Yeah, I think it's very useful for the country because like right now we have toll gates here in the country, and it's very useful because before there would be like people inside the, what do you call that? Inside the station, and like we would pay using cash or something. And now we have like the RFIDs, which you just stop your car for a bit, and then the toll will just open by itself and you can go through. Moving on to the next person, Zachary Sanchez.
Hi, my name is Zach. For my personal interesting technology is my scooter right here. My personal technology. Okay, my personal technology is this my scooter, which I got from my aunt after she won it in a lottery in her office. This scooter has become my main mode of transportation. Before, my aunt would sometimes pick me up and drop me off at school, but when she's busy, I'd rely on services like Grab, Joyride, Angkas, or Mover. Owning the scooter has saved me a lot of money in the long run. Questions?
Do you think scooter is better than cars?
Well, not really. Cars are better. It's way faster, and when it's raining, you can just drive. When you have a scooter, you need to wait the rain to stop.
Is it scarier to ride a scooter?
Yes, it is, because even though there's a bike lane where scooters can go, many drivers, car drivers would still go there in that lane. Moving on to the community, Mover PH is an e-scooter and bicycle sharing company. They let people rent their devices so that people can move easily without worrying about the city traffic. They started their operations in BGC and Makati Central Business District, which both have clear personal mobility device lanes. In these areas, they have stations that they call hubs or mover parking. In these hubs is where the e-scooters and bicycles are on standby. With the use of their apps, you can have access to riding the devices. Questions?
Can you use Mover anywhere in the Philippines?
No, like I said earlier, there's certain areas like BGC and the Makati Central Business. That's it.
How much is the rent of the mover thing?
It used to be so you put money in the app. That's where you pay. So you can put back then you can put 200, 300, 400, 500, 1000. Now they change it. They want more money, so they put only 300, 500, 1000, 2000. So to the nations, the no contract apprehension policy, or NCAP, refers to different active traffic and management and road traffic safety measures being implemented by local government units all over the Philippines. Through the NCAP, traffic management agencies are able to enforce traffic laws by identifying violators through the use of traffic enforcement cameras and closed-circuit television. In doing so, it is also able to apprehend violators without the presence of on-site traffic enforcers.
What's the purpose of no contact apprehension policy?
To enforce traffic laws using cameras and CCTVs.
So how did traffic management work before NCAP?
Traffic enforcers, on-site traffic enforcers. Thank you. Moving on to Wesley.
So, for me, one personal technology that I would have would be my smartphone. Prior to smartphones like this, were a wide variety of specialized tools, some of which are in use today. These tools included landlines or phones, calculators, analog cameras, and pens and notebooks. Now I got this mainly due to the fact that we're living in a very modern world, one that requires us to be able to do things quicker and more efficiently. And the smartphone helps us just do that and more.
So when did you acquire this?
I acquired my smartphone sometime around last year during December.
Is it possible to go a day without a phone?
It is very much possible to go a day without a phone, but you'd be much more limited since now you have kind of lost your ability to do things much quicker at a moment's notice. Now, for the community, one technology that I've identified is the Cube. The Cube is a multifunctional box usually found in the lobbies of condominiums and serves as a quick and easy way to pay bills, receive parcels, and even avail laundry services. Prior to the Cube, we had people who were tasked with doing such things and going from building to building. Some of these jobs are still being done, but now less people are needed to cater to an entire complex. As to why it was acquired, I believe it was acquired to make things easier for the tenants living in these condos.
So was this a recent innovation?
I wouldn't say it was very much recent since it was been around since around after the pandemic or during the pandemic since no contact services were very much in demand.
Are they available in all condominiums?
Unfortunately, they are not. Most of the Cube units are found in Mega World condominiums and some are even found in some of the uptown condominiums in BGC. Now for the national, one technology that I've identified are our fire trucks. Prior to our fire trucks today, we had water pumps on wheels, which are an early form of fire truck. These are required to serve the nation primarily in firefighting, while also taking on emergency response duties during disasters.
So what is one technology identified in firefighting, sorry?
One key technology that fire trucks use in firefighting would be their more advanced communication devices and their GPS devices, which allow them to navigate through cities quicker and communicate with other units more effectively to ensure that the fire is put out in a much quicker manner.
Now, what advancement do modern fire trucks have over early water pumps on wheels?
Unlike early water pumps on wheels, modern fire trucks also have a customizable pump and pressure system, which would allow them to adjust the pressure of the water through their hoses to suit the given situation, which unlike water pumps on wheels was then a more fixed flow. So that'll be all for our group. Thank you for listening.
Bye.
Bye!